All right. San Holo, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a fun couple days. Guys, we get to see the real Sonder hanging out with him. It's actually been a lot of fun. Been messing around.
You pronounce my name really well, Sonder.
Sonder?
That's really good.
We've been saying it a lot, actually.
Yeah, saying it a
Well,
lot.
people call me Sanders or like Saunders, but you're pretty
But
good.
You were San Holo until we met you. Now it's like, oh, that's Sonder.
Just call me Son.
San?
Yeah.
San. Yeah, no, it fits good. So, man, first off, how you liking Atlanta, man? Your Shaky Beats performance was hella fun. A lot of people were jamming out.
Thank you, man. I had a lot of fun in Atlanta. Always. Atlanta is very warm, very wholesome city. Very wholesome. I had a lot of fun, man. I love Atlanta. It's fun here. And the best thing is it only takes me 6 hours to fly here from the Netherlands, from Holland.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was like 9 hours.
Yeah, I thought it was like 12 hours.
Oh, in 9 hours, yes. I think it's
That's
7
still
hours.
longer than any flight I've ever
7
done.
hours.
How long is it? 9 hours. Shit, it's pretty long.
I
too
mean,
long.
San Fran felt like that too. So how long?
Yeah.
San Fran?
That was only like 5 or 6.
Oh, okay, that was the longest. That was the longest flight I've
That's
ever
what I'm
been on.
saying.
Anyway, Atlanta's sick. I like it.
What did you think about you're playing some chill music and then all of a sudden you hear the ATL? Oh,
I love that. The first time I played it was like 4 years ago, and suddenly I heard this. I was like, what are they saying? Are they booing me or something? I heard this random sound I never heard before, because in every city they're just like saying, hey, you know? And I'm like, what is this weird sound I'm hearing from the crowd? So I pull the fader down, and I hear ATL, ho. I'm like, okay. What's happening? I
Because
don't.
we grew up with this, going to chill shows, like
Where,
straight
yeah,
up.
where did it come from? Where
Like
does it come
lo-fi
from?
shows will have like
It's just
people
a
screaming.
thing people
ATL.
doing. It doesn't matter if it's dubstep, chill music.
I think it's from a rap song originally. but
It's
I
from
don't
a
know
rap.
what
I think it's from a rap
But
song.
I don't
the
know.
whole city knows it, and then it's not the city knows it. They like are pumped. Like people are pumped once the ATL. It only takes one guy.
Yeah,
You
I
go in
know.
the crowd. One guy says it. Everybody like piles
I think
in.
every song I hear one person say ATL ho, and even in the quiet song sometimes like I'm all sensitive like playing guitar and they're like ATL ho.
That's what we were joking about, man.
like
Fucking ridiculous.
it's like yeah, it's funny. I love ATL ho.
No, that's fucking awesome, man. So you want to talk a little bit about your last performance? Because I mean, you were talking about how that was the first time that you had really switched things up. You want to talk about how it's going really from the DJing stuff to really playing a lot of stuff live and everything like that?
Yeah, so I've always been more of a live musician than a DJ or a producer. I started playing guitar 14 years ago, and I switched to producing when I felt like I didn't really have any, like I couldn't innovate on guitar anymore. You know, I couldn't do anything. Everyone did the same thing. I was like, I'm done here. I can't be. My mind wasn't ready to innovate guitar, so I just went make beats, something completely different. I never did it before, but I loved it. But there's so much freedom, so much room to explore. And now I'm here, you know, it's been a trip. I've just been experimenting for the last 5 years, making beats, and people seem to really enjoy it.
And before that, you were in a band, correct?
Yeah, I was in many bands, and I did a lot of small tours through Germany, sleeping on the floor, playing for like 3 people in a trucker cafe, you know. I remember one tour I did with a band in Germany. We played at this trucker stop. How do you say that?
Yeah.
Trucker.
Yeah, truck stop.
Truck stop. And the promoter was like, yeah, well, you have to start somewhere. It's like, and we were all like, what are we doing here? These people hate us. But, you know, and as time progressed, I started to find my own sound, making beats. And I put the guitar down for a long time. For like 5 years, I barely touched the guitar. Up until the album 1, I picked it up again. I was like, why don't I incorporate this with the EDM stuff I've been making and the beats? And album 1 turned out to be this really interesting bridge between my past life as a musician, like the organic guitars, like singing, vocals, and the heavier, energetic EDM stuff with the build-ups, with the drops and stuff. Yeah.
Do you think that time that you spent doing that was like super crucial, just going in on production?
Yeah, I think so, because I would have never been able to come up with this sound 5 years ago,
Yeah.
because I had no idea how to even record a guitar. You know, I figured it all out when I got my laptop and I started getting into production and making beats.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, so what do you think about even like the band time, like traveling around and stuff?
I mean, I loved it, but I now I know how ineffective it was, or not effective. How do you say it? Not effective.
Yeah, like the strategy in general.
There was no strategy. We just played, and we thought,
Truck stops.
yeah, we just start. If you play live, you'll get somewhere, but it's not like.
Do you think
that.
it helped you transition into playing live, your production stuff though?
No, I think playing live is something I know how to do pretty well. I'm an instrumentalist. I know how to play guitar. I know how to translate. If I hear a song, I can play guitar and translate it pretty quickly into chords and stuff. It's pretty easy for me. But the challenge was to get this EDM sound and make it work with the guitar live as well. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted you to talk about, you could lightly touch on the story. I think it'd be funny before we transition. Is talking about. You said you played some of your tracks, some of your early tracks for your band. Remember,
Where?
you said you like slipped it in with them, and you were playing some of your EDM stuff, and they were like, "Oh, what's this?"
Oh no! So what happened was, there's this kind of wall between EDM and like the band world. All the band people, when you say, I make EDM or I make electronic music, they're like, they have this idea of this guy pushing play,
Yeah.
or like, oh, you're a DJ.
Dubstep.
Yeah.
Oh, you make dubstep. That's the biggest one.
Yeah. And I've always just loved music for music, whether it's electronic music or band music or ambient or classical music. I just love sound and like what it does to my ears, It just hit me with those sounds. I want those sounds. And I remember when I dropped my first EP, a song Holo, 5 years ago. I was in Holland and I had a rehearsal later that day with my band, like a 10-piece indie band. And I remember I got into the rehearsal space and I heard them listening to the EP in the kitchen, which was kind of like attached to the room. And they all walked in. I put up my amp and my guitar, waiting for them to come back. And they came in and they looked at me. They didn't say a word. They didn't say nothing. They were like, and only the guitarist said, "Son, after the rehearsal, we've got to talk." They hated it. They loved it. They
were threatened. They were like,
they
"Why are
loved
you-"
the idea of me of being a guitarist and being in a band, but they just hated the idea of me making these demonic, like devil sounds from my computer. There was just like pure evil to them.
All right, let's.
Is it that one?
Is it this one?
Oh, we should definitely.
Real quick.
That was a good job, junior technician. Senior technician. That's a good upgrade.
Where are we? Did the battery go out? Looks like it.
Oh.
Thought we had batteries replaced before this.
I'll just don't move. I would just
No,
not
no,
move.
you're fine, man.
No, it's
It's
cool.
fine.
We still have a
Yeah,
wide.
dude, we still have this.
Yeah,
shot right
so the
here.
second your goes out, we have a wide on the back.
That's
so.
the one thing that we haven't figured out yet is this small technical issue that we've been running into, which is
It's not that small though.
it's all good,
This
man.
guy.
We're good.
2 shots in, he's throwing shots back.
Yeah, come on, man.
We
Love you guys.
we got the green light. Wait, I got a question. These guys, they have to be a little not salty.
Do you still stay in
now.
touch with them?
No,
Yes.
they kind of get it now.
They
Like,
get
that's
it.
the
They
thing,
have
like,
to. They're
yeah,
like,
now they're like, that's the thing. A lot of people need to see other people like it first before they start understanding it, and like, which is okay, which is one of the most fun things of music to me is creating something that's kind of new and weird to some people, and then at some point they're like, wait a minute, okay, I see it. I
the first time people hear new genres is like that. You just don't
Yeah.
really get it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but that's what we talked about yesterday. Like that's a scary thing about creating your own sound and finding your own sound. The essence of that is finding something that's not there yet, And if you play music that's not there yet to your friends or your parents or your family, they're all gonna be like, "What is this? This is weird. Go back to your day job, Go, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep your own sound up, and then you will find people that like it, and then they tell their friends, and then more people join, and then you start a scene with your sound. That's what I have been trying to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I felt that way for sure with like the next episode, like early on. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk a little bit about like really that spree of like don't touch the classics and the strategy because
For sure.
I think that was very genius of like going back to like the old school hits, stuff that people could relate with, remixing it.
Did you say don't touch the classics?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool that you know the project name of that
Hey,
because
bro, I had to do my homework before I get on this podcast, man.
did you hear the remixes back then? Did you?
Yeah,
we
well,
did?
yeah,
we
that's
were
how I was-
listening to it.
That's
back
how I
then, though.
discovered. Yeah, it was like it was a Snoop Dogg one. That's when I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that was the one that was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I started checking
Yeah.
like your
So
stuff out.
so my friend said, "Son, maybe," because I really did not like making remixes. I still don't really enjoy making remixes because I prefer just doing my own thing, writing my own lyrics, writing my own songs. But then I was like, wait a second, I can make a remix and make it sound like if I produced it, as if it was my production. And the Snoop Dogg remix, I found a really shitty acapella on Google. I was just like, the next episode acapella, 320, but they didn't get a 320. They got like a really shitty one. And I tried to clean it up. And that's all I had. It's the one I used.
Yeah.
It's just a shitty one. Put it in my DAW Logic back then, and I started to put these chords down, my own chords, my own weird, sparkly stuff. Then I showed it to my friends. They were like, "Sounds kind of exotic," and they didn't really understand it.
like when it
but-
was finished.
yeah, I finished it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's cool, but it kind of sounds exotic, a little bit too exotic for me." So they didn't get it at all. Then we uploaded to YouTube and SoundCloud, and that's where it started.
Did you expect it to do what it did? Because that thing went. How many
Wow.
plays is that now? It's at over 100 mil, right?
Yeah, 200 million, but like
it's
across the
huge,
platforms,
yeah.
it doesn't really matter. But like, I remember when I got the first 1,000 plays. I told my mom, I was like, "Mom, I got 1,000 plays on this track." She said, "Cool." And then it just kept on going every day, 1,000, and then it was like 1 million. I was like 2 million. Like I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then I start, I called it "Don't Touch the Classics" because there was no cool trap remixes of those songs. Like I did Miss Jackson. I did the next episode. I did "Ride with Me." I did which one? 50 Cent. Yeah, in the club. Yeah. And I told people I'm gonna remix that song. I was like, "Don't do it, man. It's a classic." I'm like, that's a title. Don't touch the classics. And I do touch the classics because I want to.
So how did the copyright stuff work with that?
There's no copy.
You,
well,
you
there's
just didn't worry about it? Because at this point you can't do
can't.
that anymore.
No,
so
no.
so do you think remixes are still worth it these days?
I mean, with strikes and all that.
it's a good
Like, because
question.
I mean, dude, I got mine with 1 million plays strike down. Like it was nothing. 3
Yeah, well-
weeks after I uploaded
yeah,
it, it was
well,
fucking heartbreaking.
That's why I love the old days of SoundCloud
Yeah.
because there was no rules. You could just put that shit out there.
Is it still up on SoundCloud now?
No, because we were very smart.
You
and
were
we
smart
like,
about it, yeah.
we were like, I had
you
million.
put it
I-
on private, right? And then
No, I had $1 million, like million dollar, not $1 million. I wish, but I wish we had million play tracks. Like the next episode, like 8 million plays on SoundCloud, and I just hit
Delete.
delete,
Oh.
gone. But a lot of my
You
friends,
should put on private, man.
no, because they still see
No,
it on
they'll
private.
they'll still see it when you upload it private.
They
now.
will get you. If you upload
Really?
something on private, they will just strike you immediately.
Dude.
And a couple of my friends, actually, they lost their entire account because I didn't delete it. And I was like, I know I don't want to do this, but I have to. And I deleted all of them. I actually
How did that
recorded it.
feel?
I could see Simon sitting there in front of his computer, like
Terrible.
Oh,
That's
But-
got to be awful.
Yeah,
man.
it's terrible. But I do. By that time, that's the thing. We started with those remixes just to get people. I didn't really think about it back then, but I just did my own sound, my own thing, and I started releasing my own music that kind of had the same vibe with my vocals and with my arrangement and production behind it, and people started to kind of already listen to that stuff. So I already had something new that got the audience interest. Like We Rise, I dropped We Rise. I dropped Fly. I dropped Hiding back then. The Cosmos EP. So we had some other stuff that was in the spotlight. So I wasn't too worried about it. I was like, we're we're gonna keep going.
Dude, I actually still remember those days. You had because when I first found you off like some of those original tracks, you had like still like 10,000 SoundCloud followers. You had
Yeah.
a curly hair picture.
Yeah.
There was a funny
Yeah,
curly
I
hair
had,
picture.
I had a lot of curly hair.
Because I was like, this guy looks like our buddy Adam. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
Good.
wait. So you know, after you started getting traction, I mean, when did you start playing, like transition to the shows, or like were you staying in that just releasing online phase for a while, or like how did that phase go to where you started like going into it? You know.
So the thing is, I did not start making music to DJ or to perform it at all. So that's a lot of people, I feel like nowadays they grow up with the idea of becoming a producer. I didn't even know what being a producer as an artist meant, you know? Like I just wanted to make music. First, I thought I'm just going to be a studio guy making beats. That's how I started. I started ghost producing tracks. And then I was like, wow, these tracks are getting plays and like, people are making money off that. So why don't I just start my own project? I remember getting a call like, "Hey, do you want to play at our party?" I'm like, "What do I do?" You know, like, you DJ. So I remember I had some shows, and before every show, I used to rent the CDJ set. It cost me $100, like $300 every time. Just I did it. I think I was so uncomfortable on the CDJs that I had to, like, for the first 10 shows, I had to rent. Or like get some CDJs to my place. It cost me a lot of money. But then at some point I started getting comfortable with DJing and I got the... I think everyone who's a producer can learn how to DJ.
Oh, yeah, for
Do
sure.
you agree?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it's so? You know, what I think is kind of weird is that so we see this a lot of these producers every day. You're spending in your bedroom, you're making music. You're like essentially somebody who's really good at a program, right? And who has to have this creative output. But then playing shows is almost a different occupation.
It's like polar opposite.
Yeah, then like all of a sudden you're like, oh, go. By the way, here's 30,000 people. Go stand in front of them, and you're like, you know what I'm saying?
But what surprises me is a lot of these kids. So first of all, when I was 13 years old, I wanted to play guitar. You know, I was my mom, can I get a guitar? Or like, can I get guitar lessons or something because I want to play guitar? And nowadays it's, Mom, can I get a computer with Ableton on it? You know,
Yeah,
it's true. And but what still surprises me that I get a lot of messages from kids saying, "Hey, I want to start producing. What should I get?" So I get a CDJ or tractor, or they think
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's what they're seeing though.
Yeah, they think the production happens in the DJ sets.
We were talking about how it's funny because a lot of people think that, and literally, if you were up there making those songs live, the shit would be crazy. But they think you're doing
regular
that shit
people,
live.
not like producers and stuff. They think that like you're making everything on the go. So if you like do a different version of Light, for example, they think that you're like up there. And you just came up
oh,
with
we
this
just
whole
lost the
thing.
camera real quick. Just press start.
That was an interesting timing thing. Now that I think about it, both on the same time, especially with the timer.
What?
No, but you see what I'm saying? Like, we really think that, like, those people think that you're making everything. But now you actually are, in terms of, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's kind of interesting.
I think I still tell people to, I still advise people to learn an instrument. You know, I don't know if you guys know an instrument. It's
I just
fine.
learned sound design super good.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If it works for you, there's no rules. That's one of the things I believe in. There's no rules. But I think, like when people ask me, how do you make your melodies? I can't really answer that because I've been playing guitar for years.
I still think
years
even
and
if you
years.
don't learn an instrument, you can still make melodies and
Yes.
still have those things. Like, you still couldn't answer it in the same way because it kind of is just coming from whatever inspiration.
It
or
is,
instruction.
yes. But if you have to answer a question, exactly. If I can, I cannot put it into like a word or like a phrase, like, oh, this is how you do it. No, because it's just a feeling that I got or that happened to me after playing guitar for years.
Yeah.
And that's how I view it.
Yeah.
That's how you probably approach it from a different angle.
Well, also, I think after seeing you in the studio the day, especially, like, you can kind of whip out the melody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right out, like, when you start playing around.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of producers sometimes are just guessing around, like, you know, like scales and stuff and kind of just fiddling with stuff till it gets there. But you hit pretty quickly on something.
I feel like a lot of producers these days, maybe you, because you don't play an instrument, right?
Yeah.
I don't judge.
No,
I'll be
I
the last one to
I
judge
draw
you.
and shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. But do you like So how does it work? Do you
Dude,
so you know the song?
it
is
starts
A
a lot
minor,
different ways.
And you
So
put like A minor. And
yeah,
then you
no.
all
I
the
know
notes?
I know basic music theory to the point where I can do stuff, and that is one thing. If you don't know it, you have to learn
At
music
least the
theory.
chords,
You have to
like-
know music theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know basic like how to play a minor scale, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is that I feel like a lot of your songs, do they start a lot of the time with melodies and stuff?
Yeah.
For
yeah.
me, it's like it can come from a random one sound. Like I'm maybe more doing a lot of the sound design before I get the melody down, and then that sound might inspire a melody.
Dude,
I
way
hear a
back
melody
in the-
because of that.
Yeah, way
You know
back
what
in
I'm
the day,
saying?
Drew would just start with the fucking first 30 hours on the kick, and then you're getting
Yeah,
on everything.
no, that's what I spent a lot of time
No,
on.
for me, most of the
It's the
songs
technical
start
stuff.
from either a chord progression or a melody.
No, that makes sense for your production style for sure. But mine is more like it can just be kind of from anything, but a lot of the time it's like sound
I'm also
design
more
or different
yeah,
sounds.
I feel I'm also more drawn to chord progression and melody more so than really complicated sound design.
Yep.
I mean, I really care about sound design.
Also, seeing the way you work on that keyboard that you have is
Yeah.
completely different though, because that's like you are starting with sound design in a way.
Do
Even
we
though
have that
you're-
keyboard here?
Yeah, let's
think
pull
it's in
that
that
bitch
room.
out. Yeah, pull that bitch out real quick. Let's get that
Let's
thing
get-
going
let's
so
get
everybody
him-
knows what we're talking about
Let's
here.
get Son doing some.
How many times have you heard that since he's been here?
I can do
No, can you make it more airy? Like more.
Yeah, he's
Because
trying
your
to
voice,
get a little breath.
your
on
voice is a synthesizer.
Yes.
It's the most complex, precious synthesizer you own. Because
Okay,
you
here
can
we
make
go.
every sound.
Here we go, guys. It's happening live right
Because
now.
you were like this. You were like doing this. Which is nice. But I like the more breathy, the airy stuff, like the. You hear the noise?
Yeah, it has a little breath noise on it.
Just go ahead and drop the hit from your next album real quick.
No, I could do this for like, oh my god, I love.
Oh God, what have we started? This might be the whole rest of the episode right here.
And
I mean, that sounds great.
yeah, that sounds great. That's it. Son, you know what's funny? You know how many people DM'd me and Drew after they saw you with that, and they wanted to know the name of that? They're
I
like,
think
"What-"
that thing probably got an extra 100 sales because of
people
us
are like,
yesterday.
"What is that thing he's using?
This
How much is that thing?"
It was like $80 when I
You know
checked
how
on
hard
eBay.
it is for me to
$80?
give this away, to show this to people? Because I've been like holding this.
Like Secret Weapon?
I already
this thing
exposed
a
it. I'm
lot.
sorry,
Really
man.
exposed
I
it.
already put it on my
I
story.
know, it's okay. It's okay. it's about sharing. Sharing is caring, right? Like,
Me and
but this,
They're not gonna do the same thing you do. With it, though.
exactly. Like that's
well,
you
plus,
know.
like you said, each sound's unique to that one person, for
Yes.
that one sample going into it or something like that.
Yes, because this sample. Like this. If I try to recreate it right now. It's not gonna sound the same. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different every time. It might sound a little bit the same, but it's very different.
Do you want to talk? I guess go a little bit into it because I mean, one thing we share in common, definitely love for lo-fi. You know what I'm saying? I listen to lo-fi all day. I don't even know a single artist in lo-fi. I'm just on lo-fi mixes, and a lot of your inspiration is coming from minimalism and lo-fi.
Yeah.
You
But
want
this,
to talk a bit
this,
like
this thing is like 100. Well, I think they sold it in the past for like 10, 30, 40 bucks or something. Now it's because it's like a
vintage?
yeah, it's expensive. But I love making music with things that are old and just are not perfect. When you play a VST synthesizer, it's perfect. Like every time you hit the note, it's the same note. But I want something to be like, like
A little character to it.
One thing
Yeah.
to note though, you should definitely be doing that with your synthesizer, making it have that effect. Like you can do that in Serum and Massive too.
yes, you can put
Yeah.
the LFO on there.
But
Yeah.
people don't. People don't. Though.
Yeah, they don't, but they should. 100%.
Yeah,
If you're
I
going for
think-
that sound,
That's how you make it. I like things that don't necessarily sound like a preset. I like to either mess with it or make it sound like it's broken. Same way when I play guitar. Do I have a guitar? Do we have the acoustic guitar?
This is a
Thanks.
straight up.
Haley, love you.
Haley, bring us some drums. I mean, we might as well. Me and Drew might as well get.
Yeah,
No, I'll show
get my
you.
MIDI fighter out, man.
I'll show you. I'll show you
go
exactly what I mean. Like, that's for me. There's so much nuance in. I can play a chord, or I can play a chord. That's very deep. But like, let me tell you, like, it's. Oh, thank you, Haley. Yo, shout out to Haley Lon.
Shout out to Haley. Everybody, go drop him a follow.
Like, you could play a chord. You could play this chord, let's say. Right? Or you could play a chord like this. Huge difference. You could play a little melody like. So this would be the preset synth for me. But what I want is this. You know that?
Yeah. Drew's loving this. He's getting a little stubbed.
Yeah, this is awesome little show.
But no, I think that's incredible. And I mean, Drew, even recently, Drew was showing me like even some plugins and stuff like.
Yeah,
Vinyl
just
stuff.
like isotope vinyl, just anything to get your
Ways to accent it
shit
and-
sounding bad
yeah.
on purpose.
Oh, yeah, I love those plugins, like vinyl plugins, warbly plugins.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is to actually route it through an actual.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Cassette tape,
Yeah, if
you
you
know?
have the ability to do anything like
Yeah.
that, anything cool that can add a little sauce.
Yeah. I got a question, so I think you're going to give an interesting answer. What do you think about genres? Because some people put you in this like future bass, bubble. Some people put you in the EDM, and then the knuckleheads probably even put you in the dubstep genre, as we talked about earlier. So, what's your thoughts on like these genres and stuff? And how do you feel about
Fucking future
people-
bass, man. Future bass used to be so beautiful. Future bass used to be about making something futuristic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It used to be about making something that was not there. Surprise the listeners. That's what my goal was, to make something that like blow people's mind in terms of sonic quality or like just doing weird stuff. And future bass turned into this SoundCloud pop. Like it turned into a trap snare, 808, and saw synth chords, and like the wavy.
Yeah. Eighth notes.
Yes, you know, like,
yeah.
and I mean, I think every genre has that. The same happened to dubstep. It starts with a thing very pure, and then it becomes a formula.
Trap.
Yeah,
Trap-
you know,
trap is
yeah.
a-
It's and I think everyone, like, I bet Skrillex doesn't want to be called a dubstep artist.
At this point, yeah.
You know, and I don't want to be called a future bass artist. I want to be called Son. You know, like, I make music, and I want to make music that's futuristic and is something new and something different than what people hear.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like a little pressured maybe to have the need to go more mainstream poppy, but you don't want to because you want to stay pure? Have you ever felt that pressure, or like felt like, oh, those guys are making fucking pop, and you're like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because you obviously could make that genre, like listen to your melodies and your vocals and stuff.
Man, I think I could be. That's the thing. I sometimes apologize to my management. I mean, and they never say. They always say, "Don't apologize. Fuck you, son. You're doing your thing. That's
Yeah.
great." And that's why I love them.
Yeah, fuck you, son.
Yeah, but you know, I know I would be. I would be selling out more shows if I made radio music. You know, it's just true. It's just if I made stuff that's like IKEA shit on the wall. I mean, I don't want to hate. I'm so sorry. I don't want to hate, but like, I feel like everything I hear these days is a genre called radio. I hear all the things I hear on the radio sound the same to me, and I've always listened to music that is different from like the mainstream, because that's what I'm drawn to, and that's when I've tried to make more commercial stuff just to see what happens, you know, like, because I know this is very complex, guys. This is very complex because at some point you've had some songs that are successful, and then you want the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and sometimes you get like A&Rs from major labels saying, yeah, well, maybe you should kind of change that song up a little bit, or get this different top line that's a little bit more catchy. And I could say yes and just go with it, and get million stream hits, millions of streams. But I cannot do it if I'm not emotionally attached to it. I have to be in the room with the person. I have to write the lyrics with them. I have to record the lyrics with them. I have to be so involved with the entire process for me to feel anything. Mm-hmm. So that's just how I am, and I hope to some people that shines through. And
what if you went and did that whole process that you just talked about, in the room with somebody, recording, whatever, and it did come out poppy? Are you okay with that? And you still love making the song?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think I will always kind of get my way to get my sauce on there, I can't get my sauce on a vocal top line if I get it sent from a random A&R.
No, that makes sense for sure.
You know how the industry works. You get publishers, and they send you a weekly list of all these songs you can pick from, and you're like, oh, this could be your song. I mean, this is probably this is like revealing to a lot of people. Let me tell you this: there's a lot of songs that you hear on the radio that are just like written by 100% written by all other people than the artist that's labeled on there. Mm-hmm. And that's just not me, and I cannot do that. So I just wanted to be pure.
Would you work with somebody that is considered like a mainstream pop act? I can't think of an example. I don't want to call anybody out. Say Ariana Grande. If it was in the studio working with her.
Oh yeah. If it's genuine, I mean, it's real. If it's not about clout or money.
What if you don't get any of that? No.
What do you mean?
Like A&R. It's on Holo, we need you. You know what I'm saying?
Depends. If they want to work with me because they love my stuff and they love my vision on music and my things I can add, then yes. But I've just had a great example. Someone wrote a song for someone, and they were like, yeah, I love this song, let's put it out. And then a couple of weeks before the release, they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna go with someone else because that person has more Instagram followers and we can market it better. God. It's really it's what the industry is, and I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the industry that cares about actual art and artistry, and everyone's motivation to make music is different. So I will not judge anyone if you take a different route, because that's you. I will not judge any producer for producing like in a different way, like an executive producer. No, there's a lot of producers that produce and they're like, let's ask 20 producers to make something for me and I'll pick the best parts. That's fine. If that's what you want to do, I have respect for that in a different way. But I connect mostly to the people that lock themselves up in their room, crying in a corner, trying to make a snare sound right, Because that's just a passion that I have. And yeah.
Was there a moment you went from like releasing your first songs, like, because like you had some pretty big collabs on album one. I mean, they were big, but like they were not like the biggest artists on there, which we could have gone for. But some of the singers are pretty big, I would say.
We got Bipolar Sunshine and stuff.
Bipolar Sunshine specifically.
I love
they're not like pop mainstream though. They're not quite like.
Well, the thing is, the only reason why that happened is because we met at Coachella. We hung out and I worked with him in the studio, which was my Airbnb, literally on the kitchen table and a microphone. We wrote the song together. We recorded it on the same day, and there was just such chemistry and realness and genuine energy going on. I loved it. I loved working with him.
We should talk about a little bit where you like to work, because a lot of people think they have to have this perfect, beautiful studio like what we were in yesterday with like crazy monitors, all this shit. Like, what do you think about that?
That was funny.
Wait, just to give a reference to everybody, especially everybody listening, you can't see a visual. I mean, earlier I saw Hassan working, and he is literally in a turtle position on the concrete floor working on his laptop. So it was nothing like literally. I don't want to do it. I mean, it's literally he was in a turtle. I'm like, Hassan, do you want to sit down, bro?
I was like, no.
He's like, I'm fine here. I'm like, all right.
Don't talk to me.
The creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hate working in studios, to be honest. I'm sorry. I know you guys took me to the studio yesterday, which was a lot of fun.
Well, that was also for the good B-roll, the good content,
For the secret project.
Yeah. For the secret
all
project.
all
Secret
that
sauce.
stuff, secret project that we have.
No, but like
Booty shushing for everybody who didn't see off screen. Booty gave us he gave us a little.
I love working on a couch at home, just laying down, or in bed, or on the kitchen table, or on the porch. Not in like this dark studio that's like got a timer on, like, oh, you gotta leave in 3 hours, and we're paying $100 every hour, like probably more.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like to wake up, and if I feel like I want to make something, I make something, and if I feel like I want to get a coffee, I'll go get a coffee. That's, you really don't need. I've got a lot of songs that I recorded with a MacBook speaker, MacBook microphone. I literally just sing into the microphone, put some autotune on there.
Yeah.
We'll fucking love that, man.
Yeah,
think
I've
that's
been
awesome.
doing that for years
I
too.
mean, just low key, one of the early days Cymatics packed. I mean, Drew mixed a lot of it in his Apple earbuds, and it sounded fire.
Yeah.
Very early days, like fucking just,
Yeah,
being scrappy.
and I think that's ultimately what matters. It doesn't matter if you have the perfect mix down or the perfect master or the perfect song, as long as it's genuine. And that's what I care about. I feel that when I listen to an artist, I know, okay, this artist is deeply invested into this project, every part of this project. And that's some things that sound like shit sound like the most beautiful thing in the world to me,
How
I'd
important
rather
is
listen-
it? Go ahead.
I'd rather listen to a vocal that's not perfect, that's like kind of, you hear, and it's recorded on a very cheap mic, but they mean it, than a very slick, polished studio recording.
Yeah, I think that's why people used to love. I'm gonna say the old SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Finding all that shit, where it's like, oh, I found this guy who's got 2,000 followers, but he's got fire music.
Absolutely, yeah.
How important do you think it is to like switch up spots too? Not just like do you make music on the road a lot? Like when you're out touring and stuff, or you making music constantly?
All the time. All my ideas are. I think I wrote "Light" in a airplane. Yeah, I was in an airplane and I wrote the.
I think people need to hear that though, because they get so obsessed with, I have to sit down to this exact spot and work on music, and they use that as an excuse. I need this spot.
Well, I mean, everyone's different, right? Like, so, me, myself, I work whenever I feel comfortable. When I feel like I'm not stressed, I don't have to do anything per se that day. That's when I make the best stuff. But, if maybe you feel like you have to be in a studio, that's fine. But like, for me, it matters. This is what matters. Find what works for you, Just find whatever works for you, and don't listen to what you think you should be doing. Just feel it out. If it works for you, then it works for you.
So I got a question. Where does the birds come into play? I'm sure a lot of fans are curious. I'm curious.
Got a bird on your hat.
You got a bird on your hat. You got birds all over the gram.
No, Bitbird represent Bitbird.
But
Sorry, can I brand that one more time? Bitbird.
Bitbird, everyone. I was gonna wear some bird.
No, listen. I love birds. You know why? Because they're free. They're free, and they fly around, and they can go wherever they want to go. If they don't like this place, they go there, and that's why I like birds so much, man. Plus, they're so cute. Like, have you ever held a bird? Yes, I saw a picture of.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did,
how
one
did it
time.
make you feel? Very happy.
Well, first off, I was surprised at how smart those fucking birds were, bro. Like, that dude had them trained, and like he put it on my nose, and I thought it was gonna just snap my nose, but no, he like came here, did some tricks and shit.
But how did
Pretty
you
awesome.
ful?
I was worried at first, but then it was chill. I liked it.
Were you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had a deep connection to you. I'm not like this bird, and then like,
I just love animals, man. I love all animals.
yeah.
And I need everyone to love all animals, because, I think maybe initially we are also animals. We're just very smart.
100%, man.
Well, actually smart. We're kind of stupid animals, but I feel like some animals are smarter than
Yeah,
us.
we share 99% or whatever the hell it is. Like DNA with like chimps, it's like crazy. We're not that different, like genetically.
Not at all. And I think you know, if we were all chimps, we probably wouldn't destroy the world in such fashion as we're doing now. But let's not talk about that.
We're too smart for our own good.
We're too smart.
Yeah, I think so. We're very smart, but also very stupid at the same time. We're very greedy. and
Yeah, but it's smart. It's a different kind of smart.
Yeah.
It's a
If you look at it like that, we're actually not that smart. If you zoom out, what we're doing to this planet and to the animals.
we're smart for personal gain.
Exactly.
We're extremely smart, and then just sometimes completely like dumb.
Yeah.
Even like like there's stuff that people do all the time that they know is bad for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, obvious things like smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Humans can
drinking
create
alcohol.
crazy infrastructure, do all this stuff. Internet, you know what I'm saying, develop these crazy algorithms, and then also can't stop doing something like smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes, which is very interesting. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, humans are just super susceptible to anything that makes you feel good
Yeah.
compared
That's
to
true.
animals.
Yeah. I think we're always looking for that spark, that one thing that gives us something.
That's why you
know?
just drank some coffee. Straight
Yeah.
up.
pure coffee.
Yeah.
So
This is drugs to me. Coffee is drugs.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm
Straight
telling
up.
you.
So wait, real quick. So we got everything from we got coffee, alcohol. A lot of producers like to smoke weed. Is there any like? What's your preference? You like being zipped on coffee? Or are you just
mean-
like usually mostly sober on the road? Do you ever get, you know what I'm saying? Just
Oh man, yeah. It's, I'm very smart. I'm very responsible. I never black out, and I always make sure I have my hotel key in my pocket. You know, like I never lose it. I never lose my wallet. I never lose anything. I'm very smart. I kind of microdose on everything. I microdose on coffee. I microdose on some alcohol sometimes. Just stay at a steady level. And you know, I'm not.
That's
I'm
a
not,
good way of putting it.
take it.
I'm not promoting anything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying, do whatever feels good to you. Don't be stupid.
Don't get fucked up.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that,
mean-
like that guy we saw at the end of Shaky Beats. We're like walking out.
Yeah, we can't like
There's a dude just like laying down. Like, bro, I'm glad I'm not getting that fucked up.
even the guy that came up and talked to us at Shaky Beats.
we had a dude to come up to talk.
The
to
Cymatics fans.
I try to get that feeling that guy's having from making music.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's nice to, I mean, do whatever you want. I mean, who am I to say what you can and cannot do? But I just like to, I'm responsible with that stuff, and I know my boundaries, and I think it's very, it's not the way to say you cannot do that or you cannot do that. Just feel what feels right to you.
Have you seen? So like you don't have to name any names, but have you seen people behind the scenes like DJs and stuff get too sucked into that party life? Because I mean, it's pretty crazy to go right into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I have, but I also cannot judge because, I mean, if you get so big and like, if you play in front of 10,000 people every day, at some point, if you eat sushi every day and you love sushi, you're not gonna like sushi anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same for playing shows in front of 10,000 of people. You do it every day, you're gonna need something else. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I understand it. I think that's a very important thing for people to realize. You don't have to. I think people just have to keep an open mind and maybe also work on the way they relate to other people, because a lot of people can't relate. You know, if an artist does something stupid, they're always like, "Oh, he's stupid." But maybe you can also think about
his point of view.
Yeah, his point of view. Like, but we cannot even imagine. Like when I'm playing a show, and I don't think anyone knows how much time goes into preparation of that. How many people are flying out to make sure my show looks good. All you see is me on that stage with a visual wall and like all the lights, but no one really thinks about the light guy, the tour manager, the production manager, the photographer. You know, I think there's like 6 or 7 people on the festival for my show.
Mm-hmm.
And it adds a lot of stress to everyone's lives, you know, like people are working for me, and you know, sometimes that's very scary. But the people don't see that but I try to communicate that to people on my socials, you know. I'm like, you know, that's why I try to keep it as real as possible. Just like, I'm not perfect. I have a lot of people working with me. I have a lot of flaws, you know. I'm a stupid son sometimes.
Yeah. No. So I got a good question on that. So a lot of our guys are in the situation. A lot of these producers, you know, they haven't made it. It's just them still in the studio. Do you think they should be hunting down a manager? Like, do you think that's like the best first move?
If they're
'Cause-
ready, if their music is there.
Yeah, let's say their music's there. They got some
Let-
good tracks and stuff.
Let's good example honestly might be Sim. Somebody like Sim. He's a great producer.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be going out? Somebody like that on that level should be going out.
Oh,
And finding a
he's
manager.
also very young, right?
Yeah,
Sam,
he's
I
like
think
19.
Sam, I think you need to go ham on Instagram.
That's what I think too. But
Don't
think,
touch the classic style.
I think I personally rather have a manager come up to me than I would go up to a manager. Because if a manager comes up to me, you know this guy is interested or this girl is interested in working with you. I'd say you first have someone work for you for a while. Don't sign anything yet until you're sure, oh, this is a soul I want to work with. Because there's a lot of people with big talk that can't do shit, you know? Make them work for you. You're the artist, so own that and have someone work for you for like, you know, a year, half a year, whatever feels right. And if that feels good, then you can go to the next step, you know, become an official. You can have that guy or girl become an official manager or whatever. But I personally like it when people come up to me. I don't like coming up to people to say, hey, check this out, or manage me, or
is that what you and Booty did? Like Booty hit you up?
Booty hit me up. Booty hit me up, and we had coffee in Holland, The Hague. Tea, actually.
You had apple juice.
I had apple.
Shit. Apple juice. Jordan.
I was on the apple.
Jordan. Every day we go to Starbucks, he gets apple juice.
Oh, well, if that was different times, I was still on that apple juice life.
Apple juice life. That needs to be an exclusive T-shirt for this episode. Just apple juice life.
But yeah, it was very organic, and I actually sent my stuff to multiple labels already. And they were all like, yeah, it's cool, but maybe you should change that. Maybe you should change. And he was kind of like, you know, let's put out this EP, and it worked. You know, it people were vibing to it, and yeah, that's what happened with me and Booty. It just felt very organic. He came to me. I was not like I didn't have meetings with a bunch. I'm not saying like, hey,
Wait,
do
so
whatever feels right. I'm not. And this is my story. Is not the truth.
But was your songs out there already for him to see? You know what I'm saying?
The
a lot of
remixes, a couple of remixes were out, and I think a couple of originals were out. But for the most part, he was pretty early, and I think I had no idea about releasing music. Because that's, for me, music is about creation, and that's all I cared about. I didn't care. There was no Instagram back. I think Instagram just started back then. Maybe it was kind of, I was on there for a year or two. Didn't really know anything about it, how to promote a song, how to even release a song on Spotify or something. Only thing I knew was upload to SoundCloud. That's the only thing I knew.
That used to work.
Yeah.
That used to work, you know?
Yeah.
Nowadays, the newsfeed is trash. Like, SoundCloud never, so, like, you got to think about it. Facebook, you go through the newsfeed. Like, you know, Instagram, people sit through the newsfeed all day. Nobody sits through the newsfeed on SoundCloud. It's trash. They didn't perfect the algorithm at all.
To be honest, even the Facebook newsfeed, Instagram newsfeeds are like nothing to me anymore.
Yeah.
I just do my thing, and I just do my stuff, what I want to do, and I have genuine conversations with people, call people sometimes, say, hey, or text them.
They do wreck the public, though. Like, the general people. Like, I see people scroll. Like,
I mean, dude, people will scroll through all day,
like,
Yeah.
people literally spend
especially the
all
Explorer.
day.
Yeah,
All day.
That's why.
2 hours a day.
Yeah, that's why. You know, I actively try to not do that, but I totally get why people are doing that because it's addictive, and I don't judge anyone who does that. I love you all, but I've gotten to a point now where I feel comfortable not doing that anymore. I focus my time on something else, but I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's so addictive.
So, one thing I wanted to squeeze out of you was, like, best/worst.
Squeeze it out of me.
Yeah, squeeze it out of you.
I
I'm gonna-
visualize that. It's so
I've been waiting for this
disgusting.
moment.
Squeeze it out of me.
God damn it.
Is that something you guys say in America? Let me squeeze this out of you.
That's like
You-
something
you-
if you're getting like interrogated by the fucking FBI, they're gonna squeeze out of you.
Squeeze out of
That's
you.
what that means.
This is the moment. Hey, Jordan, this is where you have to get the manager out of here. No, something I think would be really cool. I'm sure you have a bunch of these, and it'd be kind of interesting to hear. What's like your best and worst like tour story? You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh my god, guys!
start with whatever one you want. Maybe
I have to pick one that I can talk about.
Yeah. I mean, nothing like something like crazy shit, but like, what is something that the fans out there being like, that happened? Deadmau5 had a story about his plane. Like, he missed a plane by 1 minute, and he was running as fast as he could, and they just shut the gates, and they were like, sorry, we can't open it. And then what had happened is that literally a couple minutes later, there was a loud like sound outside, and there was literally the plane crashed.
And everybody died.
And everybody
No.
died. Yeah, 1 minute. It's on the H3H3 podcast. You gotta listen to it.
It's a crazy story, man.
And if he would have
It's
been
nuts.
1 minute there faster,
My Lord.
that thing would have fucking he would have been done. I don't know if you have a story that crazy. That's pretty top tier for crazy stories.
Well, Deadmau5 is Deadmau5.
Well, you know,
after
like,
all.
it's just,
start with a good story. We'll start with a good one. Let's start with like
positive,
what's like
good
something
vibes.
that happened on tour. You're like, this is crazy. You know, awesome.
Well, I mean, the craziest thing is just still to me that how, you know, the most beautiful thing about music to me is how you probably have a song that you hear and then you think about a certain moment in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked to some people that listen to my music and they're like, this song, it's just a beautiful. I have so many. I have bands that I listen to every day when I went to school, biking to school, listening to them in my ears, and to realize that my music is that for some people. You know, they link a certain holiday or a year in high school or all their years in high school to my songs. I'm like so humbled with that. That's the most beautiful thing, is to be part of someone's memory, and that to me is a very. I know that's not really a thing that happened, but that to me is very important. That's
Important
like
moment in your career.
it's just
realizing that.
beautiful the realization when I had that, like, oh wow, my songs are part of someone's memory. It's huge. There's no words for that. You know what I mean? That's what inspires me the most, when there's no words for what you want to say. That's when you have no words. That says a lot.
That's the deepness from Sound Holo. If you have no words, that's good. All right, then we're
All
gonna
right,
go.
so now we're trying to hear worst tour
Yeah,
story.
we need a
Complete
tour story.
opposite.
I love that song, but like I
That
said,
was a
I'm
beautiful
squeezing.
moment. We loved
This is
it.
Steven squeezing. I need a story from a tour. Like, you were on the bus, crazy guy comes up, and you have to fight
No,
him.
I got
You and
this.
Haley.
No, I got
You
this.
and I might have to get Haley in here because
Hey,
Haley's like.
remember
Haley's like, I
Remember
got some stories. Booty knows some stories. It could be good or bad. I want to hear stories.
Remember that
We're
time
getting-
that
we're
a
getting
girl
Haley
got
on here later.
arrested? The girl got arrested
Here we
outside
go.
the bus.
Here we go.
She jumped out of the police car.
She jumped out.
Oh, that's the one.
How'd she do that?
I don't know. So okay, so we were playing a show in, where was it? Charlottesville, and apparently I looked at this girl in the crowd, you know, which is what I do sometimes, you know.
Sometimes?
Looking at people.
Girls, guys, I just look at people in the crowd, you know.
Sounds logical.
And this girl was at the balcony all the way in the back, so I couldn't even see her face probably. It was just like, what's up, everyone in the back, you know, like.
yeah.
And this girl was like, after the show, we had some drinks backstage. It was a great vibe. And we all went back to the bus, and there's just this girl standing there, looking around, and we tried to get in, and first my crew went there. She wouldn't leave. She would stand in front of the door. She would not leave. Then my crew went in there, and she just kept knocking on the door. She kept knocking on the door. It was like. She got in actually at some point, and I was like, "Where's Son?" He looked at me. He looked at me in the crowd, and then we had to call the cops because she just wouldn't leave. And I got into the bus and I saw how they arrested her. They said, "Ma'am, you can leave now, or we gotta arrest you." She did not leave. So they arrested
Son. She was on
I'm
a
so
mission.
sorry. I don't know who you.
She's in love with
I
you,
don't know
man.
what you were on. I'm so sorry if this. I hope you're okay. I really hope you're okay. But it was just, please.
No, it sounds
Wait,
like
let's
she
get to the
escaped
sauce.
though.
Wait, yeah. What,
It sounds like
this
she
is not
got out,
over.
so she's
So she
straight,
got
man.
in. You see this we see this police car drive away, and she jumps out of the car. I don't know why.
Like through the window?
Yeah, but it's just like I was. Everyone was just. We had no words for this stuff. We had no. It was terrible for the police and the girl, but it was a very memorable moment for us in the bus.
Haley's loved the laughing. He's like, I still can't believe that girl jumped out.
I hope she's okay. I think she's okay.
No, she's
she
good.
got in.
She got
again.
away.
Yeah.
She's good.
No, she they put her in again.
I mean,
Oh, they got
Drew,
her. They
Drew, were you there
recaptured.
that year at Tomorrow World where that guy was laying down and he was like acting
Oh,
crazy? Listen to this. So we're at Tomorrow World, and we used to like actually volunteer or go work at Tomorrow, so we could go there for free, go volunteer for a little bit, and then actually hit the festival, right? So we're sitting in the back, volunteer. It's like chilling. Then there's this guy like with his shirt off, just screaming like, "I'm a Super Saiyan!" Like literally just screaming.
Dragon Ball Z style.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z style, like shirt off. Like he thought he was actually going Super
And he was
Saiyan.
just as strong, to be honest.
And yeah, he was a strong guy. He's on bath salts.
He was on something.
And it's funny. I start recording because I'm like, this is about to be fucking. This world started, Facebook, something crazy. And I remember this guy getting into it, like, leave him alone, man. He's on drugs and all this, and some hippie dude. Anyways, so I'm chilling, and then we're watching this thing go down, and he's kind of like a harmless. All the security guys are walking up, kind of laughing, because this guy's just screaming. But then, like, you gotta think Dragon Ball Z, man. It's a fighting show, and so this guy goes from to like chasing. Like,
And just fighting everybody.
And then all of a
Fighting
sudden
everybody.
it became like a whoa, this thing's like hella serious, dude. And then
Nobody could hold him down.
Nobody can hold him down. I mean, this dude, have you ever seen the dudes that get like pepper sprayed but they're on drugs and they can like withstand it and stuff? I mean, this dude at Tomorrow World was like, he was
Dude,
powered
Tomorrow
up.
World is just it couldn't last. It couldn't
you play
last.
there?
It was
When
too
I was
much.
there
It was too
tomorrow?
much in the woods.
I just want to say, everyone be safe out there.
There's a guy that got found after like 4 or 5 days, butt naked in the woods after Tomorrow World.
He was tripping
and he
hard.
was in the middle of the woods. Like,
I mean,
I don't know why people do it.
I just say, be safe, people.
Please be safe.
Be
So
safe.
what do you think about that, man? We think, like, me and Drew love music. Obviously, we're in the music industry. We've been doing it for a long time. But then, like, we love shows. Like, we're a big fan of shows. And then festivals were awesome. But then there's this part of, like, people, like, kind of doing some hardcore shit. Not kind of.
They're
Like-
not going for the music a lot of the time.
They're going to get fucking, like, really fucked up. Like,
I mean, I said
Molly,
it
acid,
already.
like-
Like I get what they're getting out of doing that. I get out of making music. I get out of doing this. You know. That's what I get from this. This is what I need. That's all I need.
Everybody who's on the Molly, who's taking acid,
I mean, like-
crazy, get one of these things, and this is all you need.
About drugs, if you want to talk about drugs, I think
I mean, do you think it's crazy?
I just
like,
drank
that
some
people are-
coffee. I think to a certain degree, coffee is a drug. I think candy is drugs.
I mean, I just
Alcohol.
smoked a joint a minute ago.
Yeah,
And-
it's definitely drugs. Alcohol
I was hoping you'd hit
is
that, by the
a
way.
hell of a drug.
I didn't offer it.
I will not tell you what to do. I will also not tell you what not to do. I'm just saying, be safe and
I
be-
respect that, man.
Be very safe. I think, when you drink coffee for the first time, you're like, wow, I've learned something from drinking coffee and from drinking a little bit of alcohol sometimes, but I never use it. Don't abuse it. I won't advocate anything, but I'm a real human being and I know what life is, and I'm just saying, be safe and be very smart about it. Surround yourself with good people, and just for the 5,000th time, be safe.
That's actually a huge
Take
one.
care.
Surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah,
That's like probably not just with drugs.
I feel
with
like a lot of
everything.
people feel like they have to be something or do something to be cool or to and you really don't have to do any
Yeah,
of
if you're
that.
with the right people, they don't give a fuck.
Did you ever have to have certain friends that you had to let go of that maybe were still stuck in a certain lifestyle? Because me and Drew, we've had a lot of friends where we had to move on and find other people like
when
motivated.
I was still skateboarding, we just hang out every night. We were doing tricks, and at some point, everyone just got high all the time and started destroying trash cans because they thought it was fun. I was like, guys, I'm not about this. I just want to. I skateboard because I want to do the tricks, not because I want to destroy trash cans and do stupid stuff. I want to. The same reason why I make music, because I care about the music, not because I want to go fucking ape shit.
Dude, Drew's a skateboarder.
Dude.
You
Yeah.
skateboard like
You know how to
crazy.
land a kickflip?
Yeah, I mean,
Just
dude,
good.
I've done pretty much every small activity that you could possibly think at some point or another.
Yeah, but he was into skateboarding like
Yeah,
hard.
I was pretty into skateboarding at one point.
Could you do a
When I was-
kickflip?
Yeah, and probably not now. It's been 7 years. I'm definitely
Would
not
you-
doing it.
Could
You want
I
me to
think-
go outside and do one right now?
I
Well,
think
have you ever recorded
no.
a video of you doing kickflip?
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah, no,
forever
Drew's
ago.
like-
Yeah. Me too, yeah.
13
Then
years
I
old.
guess that's for me always the question. Like, if you can do a kickflip, you know how to kind of skate.
No, yeah, I used to be especially into like vert skating.
Oh wow.
back in the day.
I was very scared.
There's
of
an
that.
awesome skate park like right down the street from here.
I'm very scared of spurts. Like I always.
Wait, have you ever dropped in? Can we get content, San dropping in for the first time, and we get the whole sequence of like the fails and then you making it?
The first time I did was the last time I did.
It would be it would be an inspirational moment for everybody.
Would you tackle that for the
content
fans?
for the fans?
There's no food, but I remember. I went in, landed on my back head, and
We'll get you a helmet.
and my mom had to come pick me up. So I don't want to.
Dude, I can't do that shit, man. You're too hurt. I felt one time skiing, man, broke my collarbone. I'm like, some extreme shit. I'm just like, I can't do this.
But I do have to say, like, skateboarding, the freedom of it all, like going outside with your friends, music is the same for me. Like making music, sometimes with friends, adding their energy to it. It's the same kind of thing. I would still skate right now if I didn't have so much other shit to do.
I think Flume's a skater too.
No, he's a surfboarder.
But he still can. I've seen him do some like skate shit.
I mean, if you surf, you can skate
Yeah, you're
usually.
probably right.
But
Hey,
Can we with the skateboarding? If you check out Rodney Mullen,
yes, Rodney Mullen is
Rodney Mullen to me is future bass.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
and until it got ruined.
Well, like I think he feels like the same. He doesn't like to be called a freestyle skater. He just like to be.
I mean,
called a
now
skater.
though, Instagram is like push forward, like stuff like skateboarding has
Yeah.
made Instagram or like basketball, pretty much any kind of sport thing is
Or-
taking it to the next fucking level.
Or skill, like dude,
Yeah,
it's-
just any skilled thing, like guitar, whatever.
It's crazy.
It, may be.
It's crazy
I
how
mean,
much
shuffling,
how
like
much it
dancing.
changed. Like
It made
life.
everybody level up so much
Yeah.
because they're all competing with like everybody else on the on Instagram.
but also important to not get stuck in that because sometimes the nuance gets lost.
oh yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
The nuance gets lost.
It's like a double-edged sword a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like Instagram's a great platform, but then also like you got to work on your craft, not just the Instagram.
Yeah, you told me. You said you gotta. It's just a different language.
Yeah.
You know, social media is a different language, but it's very important to realize that it's not the real world. It's the social media world. you know?
Especially each platform's like a different place. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
for example, like what we did with Light, that we're gonna drop that little video.
Mhm.
That's not what you put on Spotify. It makes no sense to have a song cut up like
Yeah.
that. You know, but YouTube maybe. You know, Facebook probably do pretty well. Instagram definitely do well. Like I think the context of the platform. You know, TikTok probably wouldn't do as well. You know what I'm
It
saying?
might do well on TikTok.
Speaking of which, are you looking at TikTok?
Yeah, we are.
Does you
But
do your
not-
video? Do your songs get videos made to them? On there?
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
What's
but
the numbers like?
I am so disconnected from that stuff that I cannot answer that. But it definitely gets plays, and people are definitely on there. I remember when Instagram came up, and I think some artists that were already established, like back then, like Chesto, the big artists, anyone out there who was doing big stuff already, probably saw Instagram and were like, damn, this is a new thing. Like, do I gotta be on there? Okay, let's figure this out. And that's how I feel about TikTok right now, because I feel like the kids on TikTok are like 12, 11, 10, 7.
that's how it always starts though.
I think it's more like getting
I-
the users to do your stuff, like to use your songs for content, because like Old Town Road, obviously that's a little bit of a meme song, but
over
10 million videos created
So
with that song. So like
a lot of videos probally have 1,000 plays.
a lot of them probably have 100,000 plays. Is the crazy
But
thing.
that's interesting for me because, like, to me, what you just said means nothing to me. You guys are also kind of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know, I am not like that at all. If you say, we're very different people, and that's
100%,
beautiful.
yeah.
You know, I always love meeting people that have a different perspective on things, and they have their own language and their own motivation. But me having a video with 10 million plays or like Instagram engagement of a lot of people is just as valuable as having a very beautiful song that I love with 50 plays, you know. But that's success to me, because success is not only based on numbers for me. Success is also based on something personal that I want to put out and want to bring to this world. Even if there's 50 people that love it, that's success to me.
You think you can be successful with, you could be living in your parents' house, like never do anything with your music career, and you still could be successful?
Well, that's
with
what
that
people ask me
mindset?
something. How do we become a successful artist? And I always say, like, success is something you you have to define for yourself. To me, being successful is not per se having a million comments on my Instagram video. It's more about putting a song out that I put my heart and soul into and have at least 50 people say, man, that song really touched me. And it makes me think about that time when I broke up with my girlfriend, or I met this
That's
girl.
kinda sad.
Or, whatever. Like, life is sad. Life is very sad. It's not beautiful. It's not Disney. That's what I try to communicate to people. It's not, sometimes you have a 3% blessed day, and sometimes you have a 99% blessed day, but it all fluctuates.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And if it goes down for some time, it doesn't mean the world's gonna end. It just means it's gonna go up again at some point. And I feel like a lot of my songs are about that. I just want to see the light. When you're down, you want to see the light. We rise, we fall.
It's very relatable.
Brighter
man.
days will come.
Yeah. I think your music's super relatable for a lot of people, because you gotta think, when you hear something like Brighter Days, I mean, I think almost every single person could have something that can kind of vibe with that. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of reasons why you've been so successful. Because I've noticed that you've sometimes your songs will have, 6 words sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like only a couple words, but those 6, I'm like, damn, those were a good fucking choice. You know what I'm saying?
I love.
I
that
really feel
stuff,
like that about one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just it's not a ton of lyrics or anything like that per se, but like the one, I'm like, well, he did hit on that vibe.
Yeah. Well, that means a lot, man. I do really care about simplicity, and I put a lot of time into lyrics. I write them all with the people. It's never like I get something and I work. No, it's like I write it with the people, and it's always based on my life and the way I feel. And one thing was a good example. I was I think why do I feel like I'm running, always chasing after something, searching all the world for one thing, is when I was touring, and we did big shows and then we did bigger shows, and I felt like, well, these bigger shows, do they make me more happy? No, not really. It doesn't really make me any. I just want more and more and more. I just always want more, searching for that one thing. But what if that one thing is not based on achievements, but more of like on a state of mind? And that's what that song is about to me.
No, I love that. And for me, what's funny? I listen to it. You're talking about shows. I see that with Cymatics. When I listen to that song, it makes me think of like Cymatics, like constantly chasing like greater heights.
But are you ever happy with like, oh, we did this, I'm done now? No, because you're always thinking about the next thing.
So me and Drew realizes is that you get used to that next level of success. You know what I'm saying? Like once you hit a certain point, then you're not as excited for that like level thing. For us, it's like launching new products, coming out with stuff. But we hit a point, then it's like, okay, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Now we have to take it to that new level, and then all of a sudden it starts to numb out as you get bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And at some point you're gonna experience that feeling of being numbed out. Instead of making a new plan, a bigger plan, you're gonna feel like, I don't know what, I feel kind of lost. I feel kind of lost in what I want to do. I feel like, I don't know, is the bigger thing gonna make me happier? Or that's what I've been feeling lately. Kind of this lost feeling of being, not really knowing what happiness means to me. What's the definition of happiness? First I thought, oh, it's doing music and having people sing to my songs and bigger shows and bigger crowds. And but then I realized that wasn't happiness at all. And I'm kind of still looking for that. Like, what is that? What do I want to live for? What motivates me really in life? Anyway, I don't want to be too down in this.
No, I get it.
No, man.
For me, it's family, dude. If I go see my family on the weekends, it like recharges me. Like Cymatics could disappear, but as long as I got like my family time.
I should spend I should spend a lot more time on my family.
Dude, I got kind of sad when I saw that post. You photoshopped it in talking about your family. Like being
yeah,
home.
my
Like,
my
damn,
grandma's
bro.
birthday, and I had to be at a show and I couldn't be there. The thing is, I could be there if I just canceled the show. It's all like. Sometimes I feel like, as an artist, you have to be in some way a little bit egotistical or like self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a sacrifice sometimes, because I've done a lot of. The last time I was home for Christmas was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Damn.
But I guess that's a sacrifice you gotta make it or not. You know, I get really happy working on this thing for myself. In the grand scheme of things. But I lately I do realize, like, you know, to any friends out there that I have not hit up enough, or to anyone that, you know, I should have talked to and I didn't, I'm sorry. It's very hard to explain in words because all this stuff takes so much energy mentally, and I cannot deal with a lot of stuff at the same time. So it's very saturated already in here. But you know, I think there's gonna be a time where I'm like gonna be more social again with everyone around.
Do you
me.
think you'll slow down the touring one day?
Yeah, I don't know. I get a lot out of touring. It's very inspiring to me. But I never thought I would be a touring artist. I thought I would be just a studio artist because I still think most of my strength is in creating and producing music. Yeah.
Well, I think you think a last question will be good. I have a question. I think will be good.
Guys, I gotta go to the
Yeah,
bathroom
running.
soon.
Yeah, no, you can, dude. You can.
You want to do
wanna-
the last question real quick?
do the
'Cause
last
we,
question.
we were talking about doing like a giveaway too at the end.
Oh yeah, so let's do the last question for us giveaway. Do you want to do a quick bathroom
What,
intermission?
why? Yeah, go.
No,
go
no,
to the
no, I'm
bathroom,
good.
man.
I can hold it for like
Alright.
10 minutes.
Okay, okay.
All right, if you're
All
good
right.
for
It'll
10.
be
I
seven.
already
I think
took a
seven.
bathroom
Seven?
break. Nobody
Drew,
even noticed.
Drew took off. Yeah, yeah. So I think something.
Okay,
that-
6.
Something I think would be tremendous because a lot of people out there, obviously producers, artists, people who want to be in your shoes, like they would kill to be what you're doing. So like, what's the number one piece of advice you give somebody like coming up, who's really trying to make it as an artist?
I get this question a lot, man. It's one of the toughest questions.
And we're just gonna go ahead and say that make it means kind of in the position you're in,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know you said success varies, but let's say to get to
No,
where
no.
you are.
I feel like I've kind of. I feel like sometimes people come up to me and say, "Man, you're so lucky."
I hate that.
Yeah, well, I hated it too. I've realized that to some degree it's luck. To some degree it's about being at the right time, the right moment. But I feel like you create a lot of lucky opportunities for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you create all
100%.
these moments where you could be lucky, and you just gotta work your ass off to make those opportunities happen. And if you don't, and maybe you have one opportunity and that's not gonna make you lucky, but maybe if you have 30 of those, you have more luck to get lucky. You know,
Yeah.
like you might have, yeah. And for me, I think that's what happened. I worked on a lot of. My manager found me because I was doing this Dutch hip hop project that really did not took off. We had like 1,000 plays in total after a year of working, releasing music videos. Nothing happened, but he saw it, and he was like, "This beat is dope. I'm gonna hit up this guy," you know. So even though you gotta have the passion, and I would still be making music right now if only 50 people will be listening, you know, because I love making music, and I feel like you gotta find something in your life that you feel passionate about, and sometimes you don't know yet. Maybe it'll take years and years, but at some point you will know something that really moves you. Go for that and just create those opportunities for yourself.
So do you think, real quick, one last question? Do you think you should just be putting shit out there? Just start putting,
I'm glad you asked this question because that's actually what.
because people are scared to upload.
They have their desktops saved with all the music and they will not upload.
I mean, dude, I have 100, 200 unreleased songs from back in the day. I thought the same way.
You know, it kind of, we talked about this earlier, but I feel I feel a lot of creative people, artists, painters, musicians, skaters, athletes, whatever. Because I feel like athletes are very creative, but I feel like we all start out copying someone. I started out playing guitar copying Jimi Hendrix. I started copying Stevie Ray Vaughan and John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers because they were my heroes. At some point, you have to realize, am I going to spend my life copying someone, or am I going to do something that sounds like me? And that moment is very important. You got to sound like you. And that's not easy. It might take years, or 5, 6, 7 years. It took me like 6 years, 7 years to really find my sound. Because as a producer, specifically as a producer, you most of the time, even though I do sing, most producers don't have a voice. You know, if you're a singer, you have a voice, and that's your sound. But a producer, you have to find your sound, your voice, in the way you produce things, the way you mix things, to master things, the sounds you pick, and find that, and be different and weird. And everyone will say you're weird. Everyone will not believe in you, or say your music is not something they can listen to. But if you keep going and you believe in yourself, and you create these opportunities for yourself by working every day. I mean, I didn't go out on holiday with my friends. I just spend all my time working on my laptop in my room, playing guitar, producing beats, because it made me happy, you know? Just go for that. And at some point, I hope an opportunity will arise that will get you to the next level. And if it doesn't, you probably won't be sad because you're doing what you love. That's me.
And if you're doing what you love for long enough, you probably will make it happen. Straight up.
Yeah, I think
most,
so.
Most of the people that I know that do what they love for 10, 15 years.
How long have you been producing?
Like 10 plus years. But
Yeah,
I've been
and
doing
you're still
like kind of a
because you
little
love
of
it.
everything for
Yeah.
however long. So
Because you love it.
yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I started producing, but I quit because, you know, I didn't really get anywhere. But like, if I didn't get anywhere, I'd still be doing it because I love making music.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome. I think that's a great point. Hey,
Pop into the closet. Let's get a
out
giveaway
the
going.
closet over there. Hey, Booty, can you grab the HS8s?
We're doing HS8s?
Yeah,
Let's
do
do
the fucking
speakers.
8s, bro. Let's do
Yeah,
the
get
big
some
boys.
8s.
Yeah, we're about to give away some sauce.
You guys want to get both?
Get
just one pair.
Yeah, one pair, two speakers.
Not the guitars.
Do you want to do a guitar too?
We can do a guitar too.
I got a guitar too.
Not
this
not
your
that
custom,
one.
your custom guitar.
Definitely not
Let's do
that
it,
one.
fellas. We are not done yet. We got a giveaway coming.
Where are we going to put these?
Just put them right here.
Oh, holy shnikes. Check that shot, Alex.
All right.
Yeah.
Make sure we're not fucked here.
All right.
I guess it's not a big deal. Just get it out of Steven's face a little bit.
Hey, you guys.
Yo, watch the keyboard over there. It's coming down.
You guys are so nailing this.
Yeah, this is fucking awesome, man.
Great conversation. Really enjoyed myself.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it came out great, man.
Yeah. All right, guys. So giveaway time. I think it should be super simple. Do you want to do like the rules are? You just got to drop like a comment with your favorite point in the show or something. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not doing
So
it's
what do you
not
think?
part of the giveaway.
I think
No,
that, I think
only the HS8s.
only the HS6.
Not the guitar, not the
guitar.
keyboard.
We got a special guitar thing coming. Everybody who's watching. All right, guys. So a little special giveaway. You know how Cymatics does it. We got Son here. We got to do something special for this episode. Drop a comment about the favorite part you had in this episode, whether it be the crazy story Son said, whether it be some artistic moment, something he's talking about, sound design, songwriting process, or maybe me and Drew just goofing off a little bit. Let's hear it. And other than that, any last words you want to say, where people can find you, what they should go check out, maybe a little bit about album 1?
Yeah, I just want to say to everyone who listens to my music, I appreciate you very much. You're very dear to me. You're very, very precious souls. Check out my music. Check out my SoundCloud, bro,
That's what we were waiting.
or Spotify, whatever. My name is San Holo. Check out San Holo Beats, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, and feel free. Be pure. Much love.
Boom. That is a wrap.
That's a great episode.